Alrighty, let's talk about some stuff, and today's stuff is Killer Crocodile and Killer Crocodile 2 from Severin Films. These guys put out some amazing releases. I don't talk about them enough. I, of course, usually focus on Vinegar Syndrome, but this is one that I had to get. I don't even remember who mentioned it, but somebody out there, you know who you are, probably, I don't know, you don't know me, mentioned how much they enjoyed Killer Crocodile, and that it was some amazing Italian aquatic horror. And I love aquatic horror, I love Italian movies, it sounded right up my alley, and so I slammed down the cash on the digital table, and I bought myself this beautiful piece of Italian gold. As you can see, this one comes with a slipcover. It's not quite as nice as the Vinegar Syndrome slipcovers. Severin, sometimes they put out really nice slipcovers. This one, a little simpler. That's okay, no big deal. Open it up, and you get alternate artwork for the film. I don't believe, yeah, it's just one-sided. We are spoiled. And inside, of course, you get the two discs for Killer Crocodile and Killer Crocodile 2. A lot to get into here, so let's just really quickly talk about the plot. Richard Anthony Crenna, going here by Anthony Crenna, son of Troutman himself, Richard Crenna, stars as Kevin, the intrepid leader of a bunch of ecologists with a disturbing lack of interest in the safety of other human beings.
It's already destroyed the dock, eaten 2 men, and probably devoured your lady friend.
It still has to be protected.
While out uncovering the villainous Foley's dumping of toxic waste in the swamps of wherever the fuck this is supposed to be, they also stumble upon a giant mutated crocodile. In addition to being fucking massive, this crocodile has the magical ability to never blink, putting him right up there with such acting luminaries as Sir Anthony Hopkins. And that is a fun fact. Killer Crocodile is certainly under the banner of so bad it's good, although I'm not a big fan of that term. It definitely gets the idea across. This is not an immaculate production. There are a lot of problems. It is not a very large budget. People got hurt. I mean, it is a low budgeted production of the Italian style, and that inevitably leads to some pretty cheesy moments, some silliness. But I couldn't get enough of it. The crocodile is big and goofy and cheap. The character choices and motivations are incredibly questionable, and there's a lot of time spent, well, filling time. But that all just adds to the fun. There's something that makes me giddy about our quintessential croc hunter, played by Ennio Girolami, just kind of assuming that the crocodile that he's had literally one interaction with is out to get him, a la Jaws the Revenge.
Maybe he's so angry he's out to get me. I'll pay you when I come back.
Bonus fun fact, in the film Inglourious Bastards, directed by Quentin Tarantino, of course, Brad Pitt plays Aldo Rain, and he goes by the fake name Enzo Gorlami, which is a reference to Ennio Girolami's brother, director Enzo Castellari, who directed the 1977 film The Inglourious Bastards and appears as a Nazi general in the famous Gorlami scene. Almost entirely unrelated, but look at that, you maybe learned a thing, or you didn't, I don't know. If so-called bad monster movies aren't your thing, then you probably weren't even considering buying this sucker in the first place, but if you, like me, were concerned about it actually being fun, then trust me, you're in for a treat.
Show me your stinking hide. Stick your nose out of the mud. I'll make a purse out of your rotten carcass.
Next time I have an aquatic horror-themed get-together or party or just want to stay home and look at a movie by myself, I am definitely putting Killer Crocodile in the roundup. It is a classic of both the aquatic horror and Italian horror genres, no doubt about it. For extras, we get, first off, In the Jaws of the Crocodile, which is a 13-minute interview with Gianetto De Rossi, who you might best know as the special effects mastermind behind such hits as Zombie 2, and I just learned this today, Rambo 3. He's also the director of Killer Crocodile 2, but we'll get to that in a second. His interview is a lot of fun. He gets a lot more attention on this set than just this one interview. As it stands, it's a good little just quickie thingamabob telling you about how he did the effects, how he created the crocodile, what it was like to work on the movie, working under the director, becoming the director, all that stuff. Great fun. The Fearless Crocodile Hunter is a 23-minute interview with Pietro Ginguardi? This name. This guy right here. It's an interview with him. So he plays Mark. Plays Mark. He plays Mark, and he is a lot of fun. He tells a lot of very interesting stories from behind the scenes that are interesting, a little heavy. He talks about someone actually dying on set, and no one else brings that up. I don't know the full story behind that, but he brings it up, and it had me a little perturbed. But either way, very informative, if a little off topic at times. Next up, we have It Crawls, a 15-minute interview. That's with cinematographer, I have the names here because I'm not good at Italian names, Federico Del Zoppo. And that is maybe, it's probably the least exciting of the bunch. It's a very basic interview. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not a bad interview. It's just compared to the very colorful interviews that populate the disc. This one's fine. It gets very technical, which I like. And Del Zoppo, he loves backlighting his characters. I love backlighting characters. I'm much worse at it, but totally just Del Zoppo, my boy. My boy. Finally, on this first disc is Of Crocodiles and Men, which is a 14-minute interview with the one and only Richard Anthony Crenna. This is the one that I really hoped was going to be on the disc, and lo and behold, there it was. He was super informative, very likable guy. Might not be the best interview on the disc, but it's definitely the most refreshing. He's very affable. He seems super chill and, just cool about the whole thing. I was really scared that we wouldn't get anything from him because it just seems like a dark mark on his career, but he seems to have really enjoyed himself, and he sees it all in a very positive light, which I really appreciated. So that's a great first disc, but let's go ahead and move on to the second disc, which features Killer Crocodile 2. And Killer Crocodile 2 is another film that just ages really well.
Every decent-looking man you see at these parties is either married or a faggot.
For the most part.
Go back! Go back! Danger! No! Go back!
Small spoilers on this one. Kevin, our hero of heroes, returns for this installment shot back-to-back with the first film. This time he's joined by Deborah Kerr's Liza, who is certainly in the movie and certainly problematic, and who is a journalist looking into further toxic waste-related crime nonsense that honestly left my brain as soon as it left the screen. What matters here is that we get further adventures of Kevin, his totally not ready to jump them bones mentor Joe, and the mutant spawn of the first film's crocodile. There is considerably less action this time around and a lot more convoluted story beats, but at the end of the day, we get shots like this.
It's the biggest crocodile with the biggest mouth. I tell you like that!
And that's good enough for me. The Prince of Plasma, the Gianetto De Rossi story. It is the best special feature in this set, mostly because it is an hour and 22 minutes. It is a feature-length documentary about Gianetto De Rossi, and it's comprehensive. I wouldn't say that it's an amazing documentary. It is full of very special feature type camera work. It's talking heads with a little bit of footage. There's a couple journalists in there who are not terribly interesting and really just suck Gianetto De Rossi's cock the entire time, which I don't really need. It's informative, though. It's very informative. It tells you a lot about how far his career spans, from movies like this to Dune and several Sylvester Stallone joints. He does get very, there's sort of that Italian way that directors can get, or just any Italian filmmaker can get, any Italian can get. They're very colorful in how they describe things, and often it feels like they are taking the truth and adding several layers of fiction to it. I can't verify that. It could be that everything that is said in this documentary is 100% true, and I don't know. But it does feel like the kind of interview where they just kind of let him talk, and we're not going to give him any pushback. And he has his own colorful way of explaining his story. Either way, he's very entertaining to listen to. It's very special feature material. It's very bland lighting. There's one young woman who her backdrop is just her Blu-ray and DVD collection. But unlike mine, where you can't read them in detail, you can see every single fucking detail of her bookcase, and I really didn't need that. I hate when people do that. There's the documentary on the Spookies disc. I'm just blanking on the name of it, but there were a lot of those where they just look at my bookcase full of Blu-rays and DVDs. Look how much I know my subject. Just talk in front of a non-distracting background. note to documentarians out there who are working on these types of special features, you're going to have that journalist who says, hey, I want to be shot in front of my, Blu-ray collection. Don't let them do that to you, okay? They're going to fuck with your movie. Don't let them do that. That's fucked up. Fuck those people. Fuck. We also get 4 minutes of deleted scenes. It's literally 2 scenes, one from each movie. The first one from Killer Crocodile is basically just an extended version of part of the finale. It looks good. There's definitely some parts that look more fake than normal, but I'm not sure why exactly they cut all of it. It might have just been a pacing issue or something. And then the second scene is from Killer Crocodile 2, and it's literally just Kevin and Joe on the boat looking around the swamp, and that's it. You get a few shots of the crocodile, but it's not really anything special. I think that was probably just cut for time. So the deleted scenes are fine. Nothing special. Now, being shot back-to-back, these did share a composer, Riz Ortolani, and he does his thing. He's well known for his Cannibal Holocaust score. It's one of the most famous scores in Italian horror history. This one. And, he puts in a real banger here. It is very Jaws adjacent, let's say. Which is another way for me to say it's a ripoff of Jaws. Despite it being a ripoff, it's a great score. It's very energetic when they're driving around on the boat, and it's lots happening. It feels like a very epic action sequence, and I think that's just amazing for this kind of production. Yeah, I loved these movies. They were solid pieces of 80s, early 90s sleaze. There's a lot of action with the crocodile. You see it a lot. The effects for it are actually pretty good, I think, considering that they apparently had no money. It's a really good crocodile. It's not the best. The eyes do not blink. They're merely painted on. But, you get a lot of cool shit. You've seen clips as I've been talking. It's a really cool crocodile, and there's a lot of it. And I think that's what kind of stopped me from getting this when it was originally released, was I was worried that it would not feature a lot of the crocodile. That it would be kind of, we can't really afford it, so we're just going to work around it. And that was before I realized who all was on the crew. Giannato De Rossi is a phenomenal effects artist. I should have realized, I should have checked who was working on it, because it's solid shit. And it's a lot of fun, beginning to end. Both movies are about equal in my eyes. I know De Rossi doesn't particularly think that he did a good job. He definitely didn't do as good of a job, but it's still phenomenal work. So Killer Crocodile and Killer Crocodile 2 from Severin Films, highly recommended. Buy this disc, you will wear it out. And yeah, thank you for watching my stuff. If you liked what you saw, hit me up on the Twitters. Don't forget to like and comment below. And find me on Patreon. I am there, and I love money, much like Italians love money. I'm just shitting out content for money, just like Italians. Just pum, pum, pum. I need to get a giant killer crocodile for these videos. Anyway, until next time, go watch a movie.